Let's fill this area up here. I'm going to go into edit mode of our mesh here. And I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. Let me just take this one and slide it up to about here. I'm going to take this one as well and slide it up to about there, just to line up with that line we have up here. I'm going to take this and slide it to about the middle. I'm going to take this one and slide that also to about the middle, like there. Let me just take this and slide it up a bit more. I'm going to take this and slide that up. So basically I'm just going to move things around in this area a bit. I'm just going to take this, let's just move this slightly up, not so much. I'm going to move this down a bit, take this, press G, and move that somewhere here. Making sure we don't move things too much in the other images. Alright, I'm going to take these two and press F to about here. Let me just take this and slide that up a little bit more. And take this and slide that down a bit. I'm going to take this and slide that down a bit. And move it in the y-axis just a bit. I'm going to take these two and press F one more time. Okay, first let's fill this side as well. So I'm just going to take these four and press F, and take these two and press F to about there. Maybe let's just press F all the way down, because I think it should go all the way through. I'm going to take these four and press F, deselect that, and press F all the way to there. Now let's take these two vertices, so this one on the left and this one on the right, and let's press F to fill an edge between them. Now let's just add in extra vertices on this edge to match with the ones above that we're going to fill them with. So I'm going to add in about 5. And then let's take this one here, and I'm going to move it to about somewhere here. Let me just add an extra loop cut in here, like so. I'm going to press G and Z, make sure it is aligned in all of our images in the viewport. Alright, so I'm just going to add this one to align with this. Let me take this, and then slide it back a bit to about so. Take this, slide it, and have it align with that one. And just take this, slide it slightly back to about here. I'll take that and then align it with this. And I'll take this and align that with this. Now finally I'm going to take this one and align it with this one right here. Oh, actually, let's take this one as well and align it with the one next to it. Very nice. I'm just going to put one more in here, like so. Now let me just take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. Deselect this one and press F all the way to there. Now let me just go into full screen here. This edge is supposed to be running from here all the way to about here. And right now we can see things are a bit slanted because the edge is around this area, but ours is slightly raised here. So I'm going to try and get things a bit lower to about this area here. So let me just get out of full screen here, and let's use this image we have over here instead. So I'm going to take this, and then let's just slide it down until we think it is aligned with that edge we have over here, just a little lower, like so. Let me take this and slide that back a bit to about here, just so it is following that edge. Very nice. Now let's go back to this image we have up here. We now have to scale these ones down. So I'm going to select it from here all the way to back here, making sure this is the active element. I'm going to press S and then Z and type in 0 for now. Now what we'll do is to then share it further. So we're going to use Control Alt Shift and then S, and then press Y to share it in the y-axis or from top to down, and then slant this down until that line is looking a little straight, like so. Now let me just get out of full screen and see what we have. Get into top view in this area here, and then let me take it from here all the way to the back, just like we did before. And we're going to share this to the right a little bit. So I'm going to press Control Alt Shift S and then X to share it from left to right. And I'm going to share it and then pull it out just a bit, like so. Let's get back into camera view and out of full screen and see what we have. For now, I'm going to disable the mirror modifier so I can see things better in this area. I'll add in an extra loop cut in this area here. Left click and then right click to match with this vertex we have down here. Now I'm going to add in an extra one in here as well. Left click and then right click to match with the one we have on the right side here. I'm going to take these two I'm going to press F twice to fill in faces in that area. I'm going to press Ctrl and R in here. I'm going to press E and then F, align it with the one on the right, and move it close to that area like that. Now let me just take this, slide it back a bit, and I'm going to press G twice to slide up, and I'm going to press C to constrain the angle, and then slide it down to about somewhere here, like this. I'm going to slide this one down a bit, and slide this one down a bit. Let me slide this down a bit as well, like that. Maybe I'll just slide this one up slightly, like so. And maybe slide it back a bit. I'm going to take these two and press F once to fill an edge between those two. Now I'm going to take this vertex and then this vertex, and I'm going to press F to fill an edge between them. I'm going to press Ctrl and R to add an extra vertex between those two. Now let me just take these two and press F once. Let me slide this back a bit. Slide this one back a bit. I'm going to take these two and press F once as well to fill that. I'm going to take these two and press F once to fill this. And I'm going to take these two and press F once to fill that. Let's get out of camera view and into full screen and see what we have. I think I'm going to fix this area a bit more. As you can see, sticking out a bit. So I'll just take all of these, or maybe just these two. I'm going to press G and X and move this in a little bit like that. Now let me just take this and slide it up, and I'm going to slide it back down. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to take these two. I'm going to press G and X and move it out slightly. Let's get back into camera view and out of full screen. Let's go into edit mode and start adding in extra vertices in here to support the ones we have up here. Let me take this and slide it to the right for the one directly above it. I'm going to take this one and slide it to the right to match with this one over here. I'm going to add an extra one in here to match with the one we have up here. I'm going to do the same thing down here. Add an extra one in here to match with that one. Now in this area, I'm just going to slide this out to about here and slide this into about here. Let me add an extra one in here. Now let's take these four and press F. I'm going to take these two and press F all the way to about there. I'm going to add an extra loop cut up here to match with the vertices on the left and the right. I'm going to press E to align with the one at the top, the edges at the top. I'm going to left click to confirm it. Let's get out of camera view and in here. Let me get into the back view by holding down Control and pressing the numpad 1. I'm going to press G and X and move this out a little bit like that. Just going to move it out a bit like so. So I'm making sure the space up here is the same thing we have over here. Let me just slide this down a bit to about here. Now let's take a look over here as well. So I'm going to make this the active element. And with our pivot point set to active element, I'm just going to press S and then X and then scale this in. Let me get into the back view again until the space is as even as we have at the top. So I'm just going to press S and then X and scale this into about there. Very nice. Now let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F to fill that in. And I'm going to take these 4 as well and press F to fill that in. I'm going to add one more in here. I'm going to do pretty much the same thing. So we'll get into the back view, press G and then X. I'll just slide this down a bit, G and then X, till we have about the same space we have here as the top. I'm going to make this the active element, press S and then X, and then scale this in to about there. I'm going to take these two and press F twice to fill that in. I'll take that two and press F twice to fill that in. Now we just have to recalculate the normals by pressing Shift and N. Now I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. I'm going to take these two and press F all the way to there. Now let me just take these two and press F once to fill in a face here as well. I'm going to press Ctrl and R to add in a loop cut in here. Now I'm going to align it with the one below. I'm not going to use the alignment key, which is E in this case, because if I do that, if you pay attention to this vertex here, anytime the edge is slanted and the rest are almost straight, and you try to align it by using the E key or the F key, you will notice that that vertex is not straight. So if you take a look here, you can see this vertex is not straight. And we can just get away with just adding in the loop cut and then just sliding it down and close to that edge like that. Let's get into the back view and let's align these with the vertices first. So I'm going to move it up in the Z and I'll move it in the X like so. Maybe a little lower like that. And in the X axis a bit. Very nice. I'm just going to take it from here to about there. I'm going to go to the back view again. I'm going to press S and then X and scale this out. You know, maybe let's just move this manually. So I'm just going to press G and X and move this to about here. Take these two, press G and X and move that out to about there. Let's see what we have. Very nice. Now I'll take these two and press F once. And I'll take this and then that one. I'm going to press M and then merge it at last. I think I'm going to add in an extra loop cut up here as well to support this edge once we add in a subdivision surface or once we enable that subdivision surface. Because right now you can see the edge is flowing all the way down. So I'm going to add in an extra loop cut here just to support that. But if we take a look at the reference image, it's not a sharp corner. So we're just going to add in close enough just so this corner here is a little rounded, not so much rounded. Alright. Now let me disable the subdivision surface and go back into full screen. I'm going to press Ctrl and R here and I'm going to slide this up to about some point around here. Should be good. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'm going to press F. And let's see what we can do in this area. Maybe we can add an extra vertex here and slide it up here like so. Let me get in here and see what we have. Let's get back to the other images so we can do this better. Okay, let me just press G and then X, and then move it in a bit, and then G and then Z, move this up. And that should be quite good, if I'm not wrong. Let me get into full screen and see what we have here. Just gonna move it a little out, like so. I think that should be good. Now let's take these two and press F once, and let's fill in a triangle here for now. I'm just gonna add in an extra loop cut in here, like so. I'm going to take these two and press F twice to fill in a face there. I'm going to take this vertex here and slide it back just to give it that nice quad shape. Let's see how we can fill this area now. First off, let me take this and extrude it in the Y axis. Get into the back view. Okay, that's not visible here, but I'm just going to make sure it is aligned with the one here. Let me get to the top and see. Yeah, so something like that. We should be good. Now let's see how we can fill this area. I think I'll add in an extra vertex down here just to kind of match with the one we have up here. Let me go into the top view. Let me just move it in the x-axis just slightly, not so much. Very nice. I'll take this and move it out just slightly. I'm going to take this one and then press Ctrl B to bevel it to make it 2 edge loops instead of 1. I'm going to slide this one up a bit and take this and slide that up a bit as well. Now let's start things off by taking these 4 and press F. I'm going to fill a triangle here for now, and I think here as well. And let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 and press F. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Okay, so far not bad, but I think I'm going to take this vertex here, right? I'm going to slide it back just a bit, just so that surface is a little flatter than what it initially was. Let me take this and then slide it out just a bit so we get a much more flatter surface. Very nice. I'll fill in a triangle here as well. And then here maybe a quad. And maybe here let's get to the side view, okay? Now let's add in that loop cut that's gonna run from here all the way to the down. So I'm going to use the knife tool for this because if we use Ctrl R, it's not going to work well. So I'm going to use the knife tool by pressing K, and I'm going to knife this manually all the way down. Very nice. Now let me just take all of these and I'm going to merge them at center like that. And I'll slide it down just a bit. I'm going to take this first, take that 1 second and press M and then say at last. Now we can take... Let me just take all of these. I'm just going to move them in the x-axis just slightly. Not so much, just slightly. Then I'll take these two and press F twice to fill a triangle there. Let me take a look at this area. It's not bad. I might want to move this in just a little bit. Maybe let's just keep it as it is for now. We'll fix it later. Now let's move down here. Take these two, or these four, and press F. And then take these two and press F once. Let's get back into camera view and out of full screen. Now I want to fill things in this area similarly to how we filled the front one. So we're just going to assume there's no cut line here, or wheel well cut line, and then fill things accordingly. So we'll take the vertices from here all the way to about here and extrude it in the y-axis, like so, to about somewhere here should be good. And I'm going to press S and then Y and scale this in to about somewhere there. Now let's get out of camera view and into full screen here. Let's go over to the top view and see how we can align this. Maybe it doesn't need any alignment. Just press G and X and move it out just a bit. And slide this back in just a little bit. I'm going to add in a loop cut in here and add in another one in here as well, just to match with the ones we have above. Now I'm going to take these two and press F all the way to there. That should be flowing nicely. Let's see how we can do the same thing here. So I'm going to take all of these, press G twice, and then C and slide it to match with the one we have here. So let me get to the side view. Now I'm just going to slide this one back a bit. Let me add in two vertices in here, like so. Let's get into camera view and out of full screen and see how we can align things in here. I think it's already good, but I'm just going to move it in the x-axis slightly. I'm going to take this one and move it in the x-axis inside. Now I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to press F to fill a face in there. I'm going to add in two extra loop cuts in here. Let's get out of camera view here and into full screen and see what we have. Okay, I'll take these two and let's fill these faces and see what that area looks like. I think I'm going to add one more down here. Press E, just so we can fill the face here, like so. Okay, I think we have to fix this area a bit more. So I'm going to take these two, press G and then X, and move it out just a bit like so. I'm going to move this one in. We don't need to move that one out. I'm going to take this one as well and move it out a bit like so. Take this one as well, move it out a bit like so. I think I'm going to move this out a bit, maybe in the y-axis a bit as well. Okay, not bad. I'll just take this and move it in. Take these two and move those in. Okay, not bad. I'll just move it out a bit. Take this and move it out a bit. Move this out. Move this out slightly. Alright, not bad. Let me get back into camera view and out of full screen. Let's switch this image here to the back view of the car. Let's see what it looks like back here. So this is the area we're working with. Okay, I think it's pretty good. Now the final thing we'll do is to go into edit mode and take these two and press F twice to fill in faces down there. Now let's go up here. I think I'm going to fill in some faces here. So I'll just take these two and press F once. Add an extra vertex here and take these two and press F to the left side. And I think that should be good. I'm just going to slide this down a bit to about here. Space this out evenly. Slide this down a bit. Space this out evenly. I'm just going to slide this down a bit. Okay, very nice. Now let's see how we can fix this area here a bit more, because I don't like this triangle that's happening here. So let me go into camera view here and let's take a look for a second. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'll add in an extra loop cut that runs through here all the way to down here and then to the bottom here. And I think, let me show you guys something real quick. If you take a look at the reference image, you can see the area after the door cut line here is a little flat before it starts raising. So I'm going to try and then achieve that, or use this to advantage to try and then flatten that area a bit more before it starts raising to this edge we have here. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll use the knife tool. So I'll just press K on our keyboard, left click to start things off here. I'm going to left click in here and I'm going to move it down to about somewhere here. We'll dress that up later. I'm going to cut it here, cut that here. It really doesn't matter because we'll fix that later. I'm going to cut it to, for now, let's keep it here, and let's press spacebar to confirm that. And then let's continue our way down. So I'm just going to hit K, left click, and then keep clicking, and keep going. Right here, we're going to end it here, and then cut it all the way to the right, like so. Very nice. We might have to fill this area with a quad, but we'll do that later. Alright, let's get into our camera view. So I'm going to take all of this and press M to merge at the center. I'm going to slide this in a bit because I think it starts somewhere here. So a little bit inside. Let me change the reference image to one that shows this much better. So I'm just going to slide it out a bit to about here, like so. Now let me take this and merge it to the one at the bottom. So at first, I'm going to slide it up a bit to about here. Now let's slide this in to about somewhere here, like so. I'll slide this up a bit and slide it in to about there. Just take this, slide this in to about there, maybe a little bit more. Let me slide this in a bit more as well. Take this, slide this in a bit, slide this in a bit. Now let's take this vertex and this vertex and press M and then merge it at last. And I think we can fill a quad in this area instead of triangles. Very nice. Let me slide this up. Slide this in a bit, like so. Okay, nice. So I think we can fill a quad in this area. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these vertices in the x-axis. They are not going to be slanting. If I go into top view, they're not going to be slanting all the way up. So we're going to squish them in like so a bit. Take this one as well. Squish it in, not flat, because if you squish it flat, this is what it will look like. I'm going to slant it just slightly. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just a little slanted, not 100% squished. I'm going to take this, do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Do the same thing here. Alright, very nice. And just pull this one out a little bit. Let's enable the subdivision surface and see what this looks like. Not bad. Not bad. I'm just going to slide them in a little bit more. Okay, very nice. Let's disable the subdivision surface modifier and get back into camera view.